you. Acknowledging the importance of this hearing during Women's History Month, I'm grateful that we're gathered here today to highlight a sensitive but very deeply troubling subject. A 2023 study found that while 98% of all online deepfake videos were pornographic, women were the subjects in 99% of them. Our hope is that today's discussion will underscore the need for policy solutions that end the production, proliferation, and distribution of malicious deepfakes. Earlier this year, artificial intelligence-generated pornographic images of American pop star Taylor Swift rapidly spread on social media. Formerly known as Twitter X, that platform and that company proved very slow to act. And the images received, as a result, more than 47 million views in a matter of hours before X finally got around to removing them. Despite the image's removal, the explicit deepfakes of the singer remain elsewhere online, and no laws exist to stop other malicious actors from reposting that material again. The fact that Ms. Swift, a globally recognized icon who built a $1 billion empire, cannot remove all non-consensual deepfakes of herself emphasizes that no one is safe. Deplorably, children have also become victims of deepfake pornography. Last December, the Stanford Internet Observatory published an investigation that identified hundreds of images of child sexual abuse material, also known as CSAM, in an open data set that AI developers use to train popular AI text-to-image generation models. While methods exist to minimize CSAM in such data sets, it remains challenging to completely clean or stop the distribution of open data sets as the data are gathered by automated systems from a broad cross-section of the web, and they lack a central authority or host. Therefore, tech companies, leaders, victims, advertisers, and policymakers must come together to build a solution and address the issue head-on. Mrs. Dorada Mani, thank you for coming here today and bravely sharing your family story. You and your daughter, Francesca, have proven to be fierce advocates against the creation and proliferation of non-consensual deepfake pornography. You're providing a stalwart voice for countless others victimized by AI-generated deepfakes. I know President Biden has heard your heartfelt request for help because during his State of the Union address just this last week, he explicitly called upon Congress to better protect our children online in the new age of AI. I also want to thank my multiple Democratic colleagues who requested to wave onto the subcommittee today to speak out against harmful deepfakes. One of those members, Representative Morell, introduced the Preventing Deepfakes of Intimate Images Act, which would prohibit the creation and dissemination of non-consensual deepfakes of intimate images. As a co-sponsor of this bill, I see that legislation as a great first step to preventing future wrongs that echo the flight of your family, Mrs. Mani. Recent technological advancements in artificial intelligence have opened the door for bad actors with very little technical knowledge to create deepfakes cheaply and easily. Deepfake perpetrators can simply download apps that undress a person or swap their face onto nude images. That's why, if we want to keep up with the rapid proliferation of deepfakes, we must support federal research and development of new tools for the detection and elimination of deepfake content. In addition, digital media literacy programs which educate the public about deepfakes have demonstrated effectiveness investing individuals with skills to critically evaluate content they consume online. But we cannot have a fulsome discussion without acknowledging that some of our colleagues, including members of this very committee, have actively worked against rooting out the creation and dissemination of deepfakes. This Congress, the House Judiciary Committee Select Committee on Weaponization of the Federal Government, has relentlessly targeted government agencies, nonprofits, and academic researchers who are in the front line of this very work. These members have stifled efforts of individuals and advocacy organizations actively trying to combat deepfakes and disinformation. For example, the Select Subcommittee accused the Federal Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, of, quote, colluding with big tech to censor certain viewpoints, unquote. These members argued that CISA's work to ensure election integrity, which in part includes defending against deepfake threats, is censorship. They've also attempted to undermine the National Science Foundation's efforts to research manipulated and synthesized media and develop new technologies to detect. Most recently, on February 26, Chairman Jordan subpoenaed the NSF for documents and information regarding its research projects to prevent and detect deepfakes and other inauthentic information sources. He issued this subpoena even though the directive originated from a 2019 Republican-championed law. Chairman Jordan has also targeted many of the academic researchers across the country who provide valuable research findings to the public and policymakers, such as the Stanford Internet Observatory, which led the investigation into CSAM's very questionable inclusion in AI training data sets. I'm proud of the Biden-Harris administration secured voluntary commitments from 7 major tech companies promising to work together with us and with government to ensure AI technologies are developed responsibly, but we know our work is not done. I urge my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to set aside partisan fishing expeditions and redirect our focus toward crafting bipartisan solutions to stop the creation of and dissemination of harmful deepfakes. I look forward to the hearing today, and I yield back.